Testing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. No, it's not my birthday yet.
It's for Grandpa. Grandpa Dean. Happy birthday, Grandpa Dean.
Happy birthday to you.
It's basketball skills.
To be confident and never to be afraid to speak up or to talk to strangers. Dad talks to everybody everywhere, and that has made that a lot easier for me in my life.
Dad has taught me how to work hard.
I love you, Dad. Thank you for helping me learn to be honest with you and Mom, and honest with myself.
He's taught me many lessons, and it's just great that I can always talk to him and ask him, how does the engine work or something, and he'll tell me how it works.
How an engine works.
To love and respect your wife. And if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, so Daddy's going to make Mama happy tonight. He exemplifies that. He loves our mom and is a wonderful example of doing all that he can to be a good husband and father. That's awesome.
How to make jerky.
Things that I've learned from my dad include stick-to-itiveness. Hang in there, keep working at it, you can do it. Don't give up, don't quit out from wrestling when you don't enjoy it. Stick through the end of the season.
Not to quit when things get hard.
An important lesson that you taught me at a very young age was the importance of finishing what I start. And I think that this lesson was very applicable when it came to basketball and me and coaches and education. And it has followed me through life, through my short little life. And I'm very grateful for this lesson, and I'm grateful that you didn't let me quit when I wanted to when I was younger. When things got hard, that you always made me finish out the season, finish what I was doing.
And how to value education.
Also, you helped me to take responsibility.
He's taught me that Saturdays are for cleaning the garage and the car.
I learned from Dad what it looks like to be a good friend, a good husband, and a good dad.
To work hard.
He has taught me how to cash a check, deposit a check, and open a credit card.
To always pay your tithing and to be generous.
He's taught me to always be generous and to be a friend to everybody and all types of people.
And be the nicest person you could be to other people.
A good dad knows how to push his kids outside of their comfort zone and help them grow. How to gut a deer.
And to try to look at everything in a positive light.
I've learned from Dad that laughter helps put hard things in perspective. From Dad to trust in Christ and things will work out.
3 words that describe my dad are humorous, radius, and ulna. No, just kidding.
Loving, gentle, and Mormon.
Kind, supportive, and the best. Hilarious, hardworking, very, very generous are the 3 words that I would use to describe Dad.
Smart, funny, and stalwart.
Selfless, fun, and hardworking.
Faithful, diligent, and remarkable. I'll describe my dad.
Is generous, and this is with the hyphen, so it's still technically one word. Tender-hearted, and honey badger. And tender-hearted because he can never say goodbye to you because he'll have a little tear in his eye, so he'll just say bye and run away because it's too hard to have a little tear. And generous is because he'll help everybody. He always leaves us little presents in the gas tank and in the toilet paper roll. Even when we don't ask for it, even when we tell him no, 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 he still does it. So I love my dad. Happy birthday, Dad.
He, of course, is funny. His humor is legendary. But he loves to make people smile, and he has the gift of generous giving. And to make people happy and to help them is an art, it's a hunt, and he enjoys it so genuinely. It's remarkable.
Thank you so much for taking me fishing and being a good dad, and happy birthday.
He's always there for me and supportive, and he helps me do what I like to do.
What's your favorite thing about Grandpa, Hiram?
I love him.
You love him? Why do you love Grandpa Dean? Does he tell you fun stories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Are you?
He's very selfless and he wants us to succeed really bad.
Dad has so many things that makes him a very, very special man. He has a lot of different gifts and talents. Those include unique songs and poems like Sam McGee or Faker, 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 Faker. He can always see snakes on the road that no one else can see. And he has a way with his daughters. He was always there to comfort us when we got hormonal. I have lots of memories of just being hormonal and crying on his shoulder. And I'm really grateful for your unique gifts and talents and how hard you've worked for our family. I love you so much, Dad. Thank you for everything.
What makes Dad special? Dad is quite the honey badger. He doesn't really care what people think of him. He will wear his sweats to the gym with his Merrills and doesn't care. He will wear his bloodstained shirt to the movies, doesn't care. He marches to the beat of his own drum and he's confident and he gets things done.
I think Dad is special because he puts his family first. Everything he does revolves around his family, and he's very selfless in that way. He's very motivated at work because he likes to take care of his family and to be a good provider. He has a huge heart. He's just got a heart of gold. And he also is he's one of a kind. There's no one else like my dad, and it's really fun to meet with my friends and other people around, and they say, "Oh, I have a Dean Mortensen story," and they're always fun and entertaining and heartwarming. So I'm very proud to be a son of Dean Mortensen because he's one of a kind. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
When I think about my life and my many blessings, which are very many, ranked high among them is the fact that I have Dean Mortensen as my dad. It is remarkable to me, and It is a lot of fun, and I'm just forever grateful that that will forever be true. He will forever be my dad. Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
My last thing is to say to you is happy birthday, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I hope you know how many people and love and support you. I support you. A big part of why I'm doing our diet is not for my tummy, but because I love and support you. So happy birthday, and I love you.
Hey Dean, happy birthday. I just wanted to tell you how much I love you, and if it makes you feel any better, remember I'll always be older than you. Anyway, thank you for being a great brother. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for helping out with my family so much. One of my fondest memories is of when you gave me the Lumina. Remember the white Lumina? That really helped us out a lot. Thank you for taking care of our teeth and all the stuff you've done for Julia. Anyway, I love you so much. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dean.
Hello. My cherished memory of Dad was at my wedding. I had pre-ordered the wedding cake to come from the Provo Bakery, and I had set it up all the way in June, and we were getting married in August. And I got a good deal on it. I sent them pictures that I drew of how I wanted it to look, and I got a good deal, but they wouldn't deliver it to our reception place in Pleasant Grove, so someone would have to go and pick it up from Provo Bakery, and Provo Bakery closed at 4 p.m. on Saturday. So Dad volunteered for the task. I wasn't so confident that he would cherish the cake as I would, but he went anyways. Faith went with him to assist, and I was pretty nervous about him getting the cake because it was 4-tiered and it could slosh around in the back of the car, get all messed up. Anyways, so he left at like 3, hadn't come back, and it was 5, and the reception started at 6. And I was getting a little anxious, and I wasn't trusting in my dad that he could do the job. And finally he arrived with a chocolate sheet cake from like a grocery store bakery. That he had bought a squeezy thing of frosting and written on the cake, "Happy Bar Mitzvah, Mary and Spencer," in his own squeezy frosting handwriting. And he said, "Mary, I'm so sorry, but something happened to your cake, and this one will have to do." And it was very funny. And then we looked over, and the cake was the real wedding cake was over there. Beautiful, perfect. Dad did fine. And it actually got eaten pretty quick, and Dad ate a lot of the chocolate cake because he liked chocolate better than the vanilla one. It was very funny, and we all laughed, and it was a good comic relief to a stressful day.
Here you go.
Happy birthday, Dean. This is your mother and your father. We love you, and all the memories we have of you are just all so special. We couldn't think of one special one, except maybe Craig could think of one.
I can think of a few, starting with when we used to go to deer hunting when you were young, and you're sitting on top of the mountain when a deer passed through, and about 4 deer ran past you, and you shot and knocked one down, and then you shot some more times, and we went up there and found a deer dead on the way, and another one 50 yards up.
A cherished memory I have of Dad is all the times we've gone fishing together, because even though we sometimes argue over the right way to fish, it always brings us closer together.
Hey, Dean. Happy birthday. You're always going to be older than me, so there. So we've been reminiscing about memories of you, and one memory I have is when we were younger, we were teenagers, and the phone would ring and you would get it, and it would be from me. So that was back in the day when you actually had to get up and pick up the phone off the wall. Well, you would put it down on the counter and come and sit on me and say, "The phone's for you," and you would sit on me, and I couldn't get up. And we would just yell at each other, and I'd yell at the phone, and you'd yell, and he would never let me up until finally I would get up, but the person who called was not there anymore. So that's one of the memories I had of you, being a big brother. So happy birthday.
Too bad I'm not invited. Okay, Dean, this is another memory we've been remembering. You used to think you were the best driver that ever drove in Denver, but you wrecked every car we ever owned.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth. We've been reminiscing. We were just thinking about the time when you and I think it was Michael Banks wanted to go camping up in the field, and your brother Peter kept trying to follow you, and you kept bringing him back, and he kept following you. So you brought him back and tied him to the tree and went on your way to camp. And when I went out, there was poor Peter tied to the tree, and I had to get him loose. That's what we were remembering. And now Patty's going to tell you what she remembers about you being her big brother.
Last summer we went on a hayride, and I was driving the four-wheeler with Dean behind me, and we went through a little stream up on their hill, and he called it the River of Happiness and Despair. And then we got stuck, and we had to try to push, try to get unstuck and get up the hill on the other side of the river. We had to push the four-wheeler and try to get it unstuck. And he called it the River of Happiness or Despair, because you could either get through easily or you can get just stuck in the mud. So he called it that, and it was hilarious. So we wanted to wish Uncle Dean a happy birthday, and we love him and we love his stories and all the fun experiences we had with him. Happy birthday, Uncle Dean!
He's going to push all that out.
I have many wonderful memories of Dean. I first met Dean when I was 5 years old, and I remember just inside my parents' doorway him picking me up and pressing me against the ceiling over his head, and I thought he was the strongest man in the whole world. He taught me how to drive when I was 14 in his old truck, drive a stick shift coming back from a father-son outing, and Peter and Ben were in the back seat banging their head against the hard plastic backing as I was popping the clutch. And I remember him taking me fishing with his boys on Yellowstone Lake one day. That was a great memory. I remember ice fishing with him and Eric, and at the end of our ice fishing trip, we all three of us tinkled in the snow, and I could tinkle way farther than either of them because I was little. I remember later having Ben challenge me to see if Ben could tinkle farther than me, and he could. I wasn't planning to share that one. He taught me the laws of buoyancy in the Great Salt Lake. He told me that when I was a teenager, he said, I wish that when I was in high school, I had been more brave and asked out girls that I was scared to ask out, and I remembered that, and I asked out some girls that I was scared to ask out in high school, and I'm glad that I did. And I remember his spiritual side. I'll always remember going to Charity's baptism and confirmation and hearing the blessing that he gave his daughter on that day. But one memory that I always look back on and smile about is when he was in Nebraska, and I was still very young, and he pulled over at the side of the road one afternoon, because he saw a deer in the distance, and he got out his gun, and from kind of the side of the road, he shot the deer. And he thought that he knew the owner of the land, but he didn't, or if it was public land, he just wasn't sure. So he shot the deer, And I'm not sure all the reasons, but probably because he didn't want to get caught. He didn't go get the deer at that time. And we went back at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and there was a full moon. And it was the first time that I'd seen a deer be gutted. And I remember watching him gut the deer in the moonlight with the silvery light of the moon shining off the deer guts and everything else that he left in the field as we hauled the deer 100 yards back to the car. And that's a memory that I will always remember and treasure. Happy birthday, Dean.
Happy birthday, Dad. So a couple of my favorite memories are Dad actually helped me learn to love hunting. I didn't really like it. I was a city boy who always wanted to go, but we've been on tons of hunting adventures, which I've really loved, and also going up to Alaska to go fishing. But one of my favorite memories is one of the semesters, Mary and I were in a physical science class, I remember, and we actually planned to surprise the other kids and go to Disneyland.
Disney World.
Disney World.
For their spring break.
For their spring break. So it's a little trick. So we flew out a red-eye flight to go surprise the kids. And it was a super fun experience. We hid in the car and had the kids come out to get breakfast, what they thought was breakfast, but it was really us in the car. It was a really fun experience. So I really loved how generous Dean can be and how loving and thoughtful he can be. Have a great birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad!
One of my favorite memories with Dad was definitely going to Disneyland when we were little girls. Mom was having another baby, and so we needed to get out of the house, and so what better place to go than Disneyland? And Dad would dress us all up in matching outfits so that he wouldn't lose us, and we would just have a fun time. And I remember every single time we've been to anything Disney, Dad turns into a little boy, and I think that's really cute, and I really love that. But even as much as I love going to Disneyland with you, Dad, I have very fond memories of taking the garbage to your office. You would always say, "Oh, I need help taking the garbage out to my office." And we always knew you didn't need help. You just wanted to spend some extra time with us. And I'm grateful for those times and for those memories. I love you.
Hey Dean, happy birthday! I was just thinking, all those years I was single, how often you gave me the advice, you gotta bat your eyes like this, you gotta pucker up your lips like this. And I finally listened, and I found my true love. So thanks for preparing me for my happy marriage.
Thanks, Dean.
And also thanks for being the first one to get our family to Disneyland and Disney World. That was all you, and it brought us so much happiness. That's it. Happy birthday. We love you.
Recording.
Happy birthday, Dean. We are so lucky to have your spice and wisdom as part of our family. We love and appreciate you. What would we do without you? We remember memories of Nauvoo, sleeping in our underwear because it was so hot.
And our first trip to the Disney World with you and all the kids.
And your auctioneering and family reunions. We just couldn't live without you.
Without that, we just never would have a successful auction.
But the best story is the mixed up bed story, where you went down to bed at our house early, but went to the wrong bedroom. And when Dave and I went down to go to bed, you were all snuggled up tight under the covers in our bed. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, we love you. Have a happy birthday.
And we would
him reading us 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I remember my very first time meeting you last year, right before the Motown Christmas concert. And we said hello, and you just scooped me up into this great big bear hug. And every time I see you, you just scoop me up and pull me tight, and I just feel so loved. And I think that one of your gifts is that you just make people feel so loved and accepted and warmly welcomed when they're around you. One of my favorite memories is when I went up to Bozeman for the first time, and you kidnapped Peter and I and took you with you to run errands around Bozeman, and we went and bought the big green egg and loaded that into your truck, and you showed us around town and took us to your dental office, and it was just such a fun afternoon, and to be able to get to know you and see Bozeman and enjoy the holiday season. I hope you have such a wonderful birthday. I love you.
Dean, we love you so much, and I want to tell you my favorite memory, I guess, would have to be when we went, remember that time we went fishing, and we went to Doc Warner's. Right next to Doc Warner's there was a bay, so Ephraim and I and Eliza and Karina and Faith, and we were all fishing there, and it was your idea, and so that's why we pulled the biggest halibut of the whole entire trip out in that spot. And I just remember yelling back and forth and just having the time of our lives. And honestly, I can't tell you how much fun and excitement you bring to every single event possible on Earth. And I look up to you and feel like I could ask you for advice in anything. And you've just been such an awesome, I feel like I have another father, and I just love the many memories that we make. But Faith only gave me 60 seconds for this video, so love you. Hope you have a good birthday.
Hi Dean, happy birthday to you. Christy Burnett here from Springville, Utah. I'm actually in Provo at work. Anyway, I think of so many funny things that you've done in the past, and but the things that stand out in my mind about you is actually your tenderness and your kindness towards Malia and the kids, and to us as Grapies, and some of the anonymous things you have done for us in the past, for our get-togethers and our retreat and all the goodness that you have. So I think about the wild goose hunt we put all you guys in, and we put the tape recorder underneath the seat to record. And I remember something that you said that I can't repeat here because, yeah. Anyway, we sure love you, and thank you so much for your good heart, and happy birthday. Bye. Have a great day.
Hello, Brother Mortensen. Happy birthday. It's an honor to be a part of this little video. My favorite memory with Dean Mortensen was when I got my foot numbed and then lasered with the bottom of my foot, the big wart. That was quite the experience. Also seeing the pet alligator in your dentist's office. And perhaps my favorite story is the one where you found the opera singer dead in the house. I actually tell that story rather frequently and told that story last Friday. So there's a top memory and a top story. Thanks for your example and all that I've learned from you via Peter, and happy birthday.
Dean, happy birthday, old man. They asked me to share one of my favorite memories. After 35 years, it's tough to come down to one, but the one I'm going to share is the one that will be with me for eternity. When I lost the fishing bet to you, and you're allowed to call me a pinhead for eternity. So therefore, I suppose that's the one I should remember, because a trillion years from now, you'll still be reminding me of it. Also, the thing I admire most about you is you have a lot of friends, but you're a good friend to me because I don't have a lot of friends. So I appreciate it. Hope you make it another year. I'll see you in the spring. Bye.
Dean came to visit us when we were in our first year of residency in Chicago, and he was already a dentist making money, and we were poor as church mice and had never had Chicago-style pizza, even though we lived in Chicago. And so Dean took us out for our first deep dish pizza in Chicago, and there are so many more amazing memories. Andy will tell you more about that. But anyway, happy birthday, Dino. We love you. You have a heart of gold, and you are one of the kindest, most gentlest souls ever. We love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dino. Hey, it's good saying happy birthday to you. This is to the bravest man I know in the world who dared come to my house as a visitor, and as he's walking through the house, told my wife to clean up the grass after his feet as he walked through the kitchen. That's the bravest man in the world. And that's crazy. And also, I have to still say I'm better than you because my best memory is beating you at shooting clay pigeons at an official ski house with an official score taker there to do it. What a beautiful memory for me as I beat you in horse for 20 times in a row at your home court. I just have to remind you of those great memories as on your birthday. And thank you for being the best friend in the world. You're awesome. I'll be one of your best friends. I know you have many, but thank you very much and happy birthday.
One of my favorite memories that I have of Dean Mortensen is a time when Peter and I were hoping to go on some excursion, and we had asked him for permission, and he wasn't too keen on the idea, and we begged and pleaded and asked him to reconsider and to think about it, and he said, "Okay, I'll think about it. Okay, I've thought about it. No." And it was, I guess it was just one of those moments where he had made up his mind, and that was something I admired in him. As well as the fact that I feel like Dean Mortensen is just someone that always brings a smile to people's face. He's just pleasant and hilarious and someone that everybody enjoys being around. So happy birthday.
One of my all-time favorite memories is when I had to run 6 miles in under an hour, and I kept putting it off and finding excuses, and finally Dad duct taped his big Walmart Velcro shoes on my feet and used duct tape to help hold his shorts up on me so that I could run the mile, so that I didn't have an excuse because I hadn't brought my running stuff that day. And he drove the truck, and he told me every mile how I was doing on my time, and then the last mile was uphill and into the wind, and as I would stumble, he honked and rolled down his window as he was driving behind me and said, "You stop running, I'll run your butt over." We don't say butt in our family, so I'm sorry. But I am very grateful that my dad helped me to finish running that and to reach my goals, to push me.
I remember Dean, the first time I met him was at Pete and Julie's wedding reception, and someone was going around videoing the same kind of thing. What do you think about the couple? And Dean's advice was always floss and really brush hard behind any crust behind your teeth. The back of your teeth was really important. That was his advice for their happy marriage. It was hilarious.
Happy birthday, Dean. I had to sit here in front of these books, so I look smarter than you, because I kind of am. And I just wanted to let you know that I think you've shrunk with age, which really puts me maybe 1/8 of an inch taller than you. Yeah. I mean, happy birthday, but you're just lucky to have good friends. Happy birthday, buddy. Love you.
Happy birthday, Dad. One of my favorite cherished memories with you is when we got to get a deer. It was really fun, and we got to get our hands all dirty and bloody.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dean. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's been great being back in Bozeman and getting to know your family and spending time with you guys again. We've had some great memories, like...
One of our first memories, or my first memory, was when the boys went to a scout camp that you were at, and 2 other boys had snuck in the back of a pickup and gone into town, and all the way back, or you had to look for them, and they were in a lot of trouble, and your comment to deal with it was, "I think we should just shoot them." That was hilarious. That was funny.
Or the time when we were at Pizza Hut for a presidency meeting, and Eliza called and wanted pizza, so you stuck pizza in napkins and shoved them in your pocket to take to her at school. That was great, too.
Recently, you bore your testimony, though, and you were in tears, and your spirit was very strong in your love for the Savior. So as crazy as you are, we know that you're a loving, wonderful man as well, and we love you for it.
Happy birthday, Dean.
Have a million more.
a favorite memory I have of my dad was when we would go into the garage and find him carefully watching over a little coop of chickens or baby pheasants, just making sure they had enough food and water and they were warm enough with their little heat lamp. And it was that same loving care that he used to watch over all of us in our family. On hard days in high school when I was emo or angry, he would thoughtfully try to make me laugh and just watch over me and try to figure out how to help me. And to feel that kind of love just felt incredible.
At basketball camp each year, Dean always would give money out to the person who could make the frisbee into the trash can into the trash can, and he would just make all those kids happy, and it was fun.
Happy birthday, Dean. Dean is the most generous person I think I've ever met. Some examples would be when he drove with Peter all the way from Provo to Nebraska when we were newlyweds. Drove us all the way out there, and if I remember right, he bought us our first bed in Nebraska. He's always organizing amazing family events and including everyone. And for all of his tough exterior, he's really super, super caring and tenderhearted.
Happy birthday, Dad. One of my cherished memories of you is when we go down to Fathers and Sons camp, and it's just really fun bonding time.
I remember Dean was the reason at one point my brothers and I got to go to the dental convention at BYU. We were up there for some reason, and we got to go to a John Schmidt concert that was just for the dental convention people, and we got it for free, and it was pretty awesome. And that has happened so many times that we just get to go to cool things of Father and Sons basketball camp every year, because Dean makes it happen, and those are some of the best memories I have.
Okay. So Dean's always been pretty cool under pressure. One time we were working landscaping for Carl Heath back in Colorado, and driving in an old kind of broken down truck on our way back home when all of a sudden the wheel of the truck fell off the truck and went bounding down the street. A passing car, it hit the passing car, and went back the other way, bounding, and then it hit another car, and it came rolling back up over the hill. It hit the truck we were in right in the front. This car that this wheel had hit had this little Hispanic guy in there, and he was really mad, and he came running up out of his car, and Dean got out of the truck and looked at him and said, "Did you hit our wheel?" And the guy almost lost it. He went ballistic. He was like, "What do you mean did I hit your wheel?" By that time, all 12 or 15 of us had piled out of the truck that were in the landscaping crew, and he looked at everybody and he kind of chilled out, but I always thought that was so funny. This guy came right up, "Buddy, what's going on?" You know, he's so bad. Dean looked at him and said, "Did you hit our wheel?" That's my story.
Okay, one of my favorite memories of Dean was we were just him, me, and the twins were flying to Montana so Ben could have some alone time to study and take the boards tests. And we were waiting to board. We hadn't got on the plane yet, and Ariana had thrown up on herself. And I took her to the bathroom to wash off her clothes and clean her up, and I tried drying her clothes off under the little hand blower dryer, but her clothes were still very wet by the time we boarded the plane. I was I was taking care of Hiram on the flight, and Ari was Dean's charge. And he took her, and she was kind of cold because she was still wet, and she was small. I mean, not super small. She was about this size. She was kind of Jenny size. But Dean took her and tucked her down his shirt. I'm pretty sure it was a bright red shirt. And she just snuggled right in and all cozy. She slept through the whole flight and was very happy by the time we arrived. That's one of my favorite memories of Dean. Okay, that's my night.
Hi, Dean. This is Brenda. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Mortensen. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Dr. Mortensen. The thing I like most about you is you welcomed me into this office like family right away, and it made me feel really special. Hope you have an awesome day.
And Dr. Mortensen, I think you're wonderful. I can't believe I've been here for 9 years. And yes, I was skeptical in the beginning, but you are one of the warmest people that I've ever worked with. And I thank you just for your happiness. And I wish you the best, not just on your birthday, but for the whole year. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dr. Mortensen. You have the biggest, most generous heart of anybody here. Have an awesome day.
Birthday, Dr. M. Happy birthday, Dr. Mortensen. Hope you have a great day. We're just sitting here going belly up like a dead carp in a Clorox spool for the past 3 years.
I have to say my favorite memory of you is when you hired me.
Happy birthday, Dino. To give one good memory of Dean, because there's lots of them, but I've been thinking about this in the last couple of days. I would say the time when we went out to we've done a lot of hunting trips, but there was one time when we went out to a hunting ranch where he had never had permission to hunt before, and this time we had permission to hunt deer and elk, and I think within 10 minutes of hitting the property line, we saw a huge mule deer, probably the biggest I had ever seen. And I looked at it and thought, wow, that's pretty nice, and probably not my place to shoot because Dean, that's Dean's if he wants it. But without hesitating, he looked at me and he goes, yeah, you shoot it. So I thought that's always kind of stuck out in my mind as kind of a cool thing that he did. He didn't have to. It was pretty kind of him to let me shoot. That is the biggest deer I've ever shot right now, currently. So.
Happy birthday, Dr. M. Thank you for being the best boss I've ever had. Thank you for making us laugh. Thanks for making every day fun and exciting. It's just mine.
My church memories from Dad is getting me to Dr. Heap's Christmas concert and turning me on for Olympics.
Happy birthday, Dean. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Counting my lucky stars, I remember you as a very generous person. Every time we'd get together with the Mortensens, you were always there, ready to lead, help, and I just am very impressed by you and your wonderful wife and large family. Happy
birthday, Dean. It's been a long time of knowing you. What has it been? 12 years. Every day has been a good day. Really good day. So I sure appreciate being your friend and all that you do for me, especially all the advice that you give me through example and through just telling me what I need to do. I've always appreciated that about you. Needing somebody close to me, and because I'm kind of a needy person. But I sure appreciate you. Happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful day today. See you, my friend. Bye.
Dean, on the eve of your birthday month, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Thanks for all the good times. Love you, big guy.
Happy birthday, dearest husband that I love.
Hey, I'm sorry I don't look all fancy for your video, but I'm so glad that Peter made this for you, as I hope it lets you know how much you are loved and appreciated. And I hope that I get to be last because I love you and appreciate you the most of all people. So since you're 55 now, and even a little before this, you actually have been married to me quite a bit longer than you were not married to me. And so in this 30 years, wonderful years that you have been blessing my life, I have many cherished memories. It's hard for me to pick out the one to share. Memories full of your humor, your generosity, your kindness and love. Thank you for loving me, for taking such good care of me and all our kids, for indulging my whims in things I want to try, like kinder music and a music barn and a greenhouse and a animal barn and a fence and so many things I can't mention that you've gladly given me because I just wanted them. Thank you for each of our 8 amazing, wonderful children, which are great treasures to us. With each of their pregnancies came many days of you patiently holding my hand and encouraging me and reassuring me and letting me lie on the sofa because I was exhausted or sick or on bed rest. And you called me the queen bee and told me it was okay to be busy growing a baby and that I really was doing something while I was laying there frustrated that I couldn't. So Peter asked me to share a cherished memory, and I decided those 8 deliveries of our kids is my cherished memory. You holding my hand and reassuring me, and I always felt just holding your hand was better than any medicine. Then, to top it all off, for our last delivery, you let me even have a water birth in our bedroom in a little pool, which I know was totally out of your comfort zone and you were nervous about it being safe, but you sweetly let me do what I wanted to do. So thank you for those very special, cherished memories, and so many more that I can't list. Here are a few more thank yous. Thank you for helping our sons become Eagle Scouts and for your great example as a missionary and an Eagle Scout. Thank you for all the priesthood blessings and father's blessings and blessings before school. Thank you for keeping us safe and giving us good cars and good snow tires. For all the fun trips and all the laughs and humor. This list could go on, but basically thank you for being a wonderful husband and father, for being patient with me and forgiving me and loving me. Last but not least, thank you for all the funny words like Bobby and the faker, 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 faker song, and when upon life's pillows you are being tossed, count your many blessings. You've brought joy and love to my life, and I'm so grateful for you. Happy birthday, sweet husband. I love you.
I love you, Grandpa Dean.
I love you, Grandpa Dean.